All right, story time. Everybody likes story time, right? This is a story about something that happened when I first got the old Z here. First thing you have to understand is you don't get in this car. You put it on like a pair of blue jeans. And there ain't a whole lot of room for anything besides just sitting here and doing what needs to be done. When I first got this car, according to the guy that I got it from, he came out of Texas. And after it got brought up here, his uncle was trying to rebuild it, which is a whole nother story unto itself. And along the way, he got sick and he passed away. Well, as I'm working the bugs out of it, I had to drive it around quite a bit because initially the engine was only set in there after it had been rebuilt and not set up to run. It wasn't tuned to drive on the road or anything. It had run, but it sounded like a Grand National stock car when you got it going. Ka-punk, 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 ka-punk kind of thing. So it took a while to finally go through it and get everything working right, and making the impromptu repairs for parts you can't find in Wisconsin, that things that have to be done in order to make it run right, because if you don't seal this stuff up the right way, it ain't gonna run right. Just kind of the way it is, but that's a whole nother story unto itself right there. But anyways, I get in the car one day, I'm going down the road, I'm sitting here, and like I said, you don't get in this car, you put it on, and I noticed something start rubbing on my leg on my right leg from under the dash. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I look down there, and there's a rattle from a rattlesnake literally laying on my leg. I'm like, holy shit, there's a snake in the car. And I remember trying to go through the story about what had happened to the car and how it literally sat under a tarp for 15 years in Wisconsin. And I'm like, man, there's no way there's a rattlesnake in this car. Well, it turns out there was a rattlesnake in this car at one time, and it had shed its skin along with the rattle, which I didn't really get, but I guess maybe they do that. And as I was driving and the airflow was going around under the dash, it broke the skin loose. There were 2 sheds from a rattlesnake underneath this dash. And even though I'd kind of worked it all out, that it was impossible that after 15 years under a tarp, that there was a rattlesnake underneath the dash of the old Z. It's still kind of unnerving driving it down the road for a while, because snakes in the Z, I'd really rather not. But apparently, at one time, it was a real thing. But that was while it was down in Texas, I have to assume. And even if they did make the trip, just like a lot of things that shouldn't be in this state over the wintertime, in the end, it didn't survive the climate change.